Dear world, someone went and peed into the dating pool. That's just how bad it is. That, my friends, was the exact line my therapist dropped when I complained about how difficult dating feels for me right now as a gay man. And honestly, I think there's not just pee in the pool, there might even be a couple of used condoms floating in there too. If you're a single gay man like me, still holding on to the hope of finding that elusive life partner, stick around. This episode is my reflection on how dating has shifted from my 20s to now. Is there hope at the end? Maybe. We'll see. If you're new here, hi, I'm Uncle Haiks, and this space is my collection of love letters to life's greatest joys. For me, that's fitness, travel, and brutally honest reflections on what it means to lead a meaningful life. This was the first thing I realized when I came out in my mid-20s. At that time, the world felt more conservative, and I didn't have many visual role models to look out for on how a gay relationship worked. All I knew came from what I saw in my parents' marriage or in the straight couples around me. I had to figure it out all on my own. Now, they weren't perfect, but they seemed to have shared rules and unspoken understandings that guided how their union worked. Even when I was young and still figuring things out, I felt we had to define for ourselves what a gay relationship could be, and that was liberating. We didn't have to copy what didn't work for others. We could create something that suited our lives, our personalities, our realities. Of course, being two men who tend to be more open about sexual expression, what do you think was going to happen? So we made our own rules. In the early years, I partied hard, I dated, fell into relationships, and sometimes it even looked similar to what I saw in straight couples. But there was one big difference. The constant exposure to temptation. In sweaty clubs, on beaches, at house parties, beautiful men everywhere. For me, sex wasn't always viewed as exclusive or binding. Sometimes it was the opposite. It played into my insecurities. One person's love wasn't always enough to silence that inner voice telling me I needed more validation. I wanted to feel wanted, if that makes sense. Not just by my partner, but by the wider community. It's not something I'm proud of, but it was what was real. In my long-term relationship, the first few years were close and intense. We were both Asians, both shaped by similar restrictive upbringings, and we carried the same insecurities. That craving for validation, we both had it. 5 years in, we opened the relationship. But here's the thing, we never really defined all the rules. And even though it was technically a choice we made together, guilt came along with it. Our moral compass was still shaped by the straight world definition of what's right and wrong. And that clashed with the choices we were making. I felt like I was cheating, even though it was an open relationship, and we never talked about it. For us, boyfriend became a label you could keep while still leaving the door open for others to walk in. Emotional exclusivity, physical boundaries, they started to feel as outdated as flip phones. Over the years, I've noticed more relationship styles popping up around me. I've already seen open relationship. Now there is throuples, some lasting longer than others, situational ships that are more about convenience than commitment, and the good old friends with benefit, sex on a friendly dial. Some people thrive in those dynamics, some simply don't. For me, trying to find something meaningful sometimes feels like spotting a magical reindeer in Harry Potter's movie. Beautiful, mystical, and gone before you can even blink. After enough years had passed, I began to notice couples in the gay community who have stayed together long term. I was one of them for 13 years. That's when I learned it doesn't really matter whether you are straight or gay. Being in a long-term relationship will test you. Take away the rush of new attraction, add 10 years, then pile on unresolved issues, and you can start feeling like you're tolerating each other more than truly being together. A friend once shared with me proudly, "My boyfriend and I never fight. We disagree, we sleep on it, and then things goes on." It sounded great until I realized it also meant they never really addressed anything. They just swept problems under the rug. I recognized that pattern. It's very Asian. I grew up with it. Avoid confrontation, choose peace over conflict, even if it means never really understanding each other's needs. Some habits from our upbringing are really hard to escape. Once your competition for dating was other single men, now I've met people in relationships who still keep their dating apps buzzing even during dinner with their partners. I've been in clubs where couples hunt separately for another connection to take home. For some, it's normal. For others, it's a symptom of unspoken needs. Sometimes romance shifts into friendship, into soulmates, or into just sharing a space like roommates. It can feel easier than tackling the hard conversations about what each other actually need. Grindr, Tinder, Scruff, they've made meeting people easier, but keeping them around harder. Why commit to one person when you can swipe for someone hotter, closer, or more fun in minutes? The selection never ends. It's like standing in a candy store where everyone's already licking all the lollipops and you're trying to find one that's untouched. Honestly, you might have better luck winning first prize in this weekly Toto draw. These days, dating often feels like fast food. Quick hookups, quick ghosting, quick dopamine hits, and just like fast food, it can leave you feeling bloated, unsatisfied, and questioning your life choices. With so many options, it's easy to fixate on small flaws and just move on. And yes, for many of us, sex has become the entry point rather than the destination. The zeros wants to find the ones. So everyone takes the free trial first and unsubscribe if you change your mind. Ironically, the more options we have, the lonelier we can feel. It's like browsing Netflix for hours, starting 10 different shows, and never finishing any one of them. So you ask, what am I looking for? In my head, I still picture the spark. We meet, we talk all night, we grab coffee, we have great sex. But more than that, I want meaningful connection, commitment, emotional availability. And that takes patience, vulnerability, and effort. All three things that sometimes feel in short supply. I'm trying to work on confronting issues instead of avoiding them, even when it feels awkward. I mean, I too wasn't raised to embrace confrontation, but I'm learning. I'm also working through my own inner child, trying to become a better version of myself, with or without a partner beside me. So here I am in 2025, still waddling through the pee in the pool. I don't know if I'm searching for the one or just getting used to the smell and adding a little bit of my own into the pool. Maybe love in 2025 is about finding someone willing to swim with you, pee and all. Until then, I guess I just have to keep floating. Part of me still dreams of meeting the guy who makes me delete all the apps. The other part, considering investing in a better pool float. Now, if you feel the same, maybe we'll meet one day. And if we do, let's promise not to nix each other at the first sight of trouble. I don't have a resolution for you in this episode. I'm still figuring things out myself. But I do know this. If you don't work on yourself and know your own needs, finding someone to join you in life will be just like moving the mess from one room to another, and then having to clean 2 rooms instead of 1. If this resonates with you, or even if you disagree, drop me a comment below. We don't talk about these things often enough, and maybe we should. Thanks for following along, and if this touched you in any way, give it a like and subscribe for more honest reflections. I'll see you guys next week.